Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connor and Taff. I think that's the name we've landed on. Is it Connor and Taff?
Maybe. I mean, I do like TAFCON, but it will just confuse the 100 million African people who will expect something else.
Yeah, I think Connor and Taff works. We also need to figure out the logo. I did send you some logos, and you gave us no feedback, so you either hate them or you just don't like us.
I kind of like the second one a bit like you, but I don't know. I favour something a little abstract,
Oh,
a bit like the one I've got. I don't know why, and it serves no purpose. I can't really think about what I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's too damn hot to make any choices about
yeah,
anything.
it is very hot.
I can't even decide what I want to drink.
What are you drinking? Looks like you're drinking beer.
Some Cruz Campo.
Cruz Campo, very good.
Yeah, some what is that? Sevilla, so beer from Seville.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, are they in the Europa League? Where are we
no,
with that?
they're very
They're
bad.
not. Oh, oh, did they need to
Yeah.
get relegated or something?
Yeah, they pulled away towards the end. But if you actually looked at La Liga last season, um, everyone could go down pretty much up until the final couple of games.
Yes, I remember. I
So I
I,
think,
I don't know why, but I watched uh, the playoff games from La Liga 2 to
oh yeah, Malaga were playing Almeria.
Almeria, and there was another two people who were playing. I watched the semi-finals. Didn't bother to watch the
Yeah,
final, but I watched the semi-finals for both of them, and
I don't think
I
the
have no
finals
idea
happened
what
yet.
upset. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's why I haven't watched it. But yeah, I find myself watching both legs.
I know.
I don't know why, and I
Um, Ma-
concluded that they were all very bad teams.
Malaga got promoted. They won two
Did
one in
they?
the final.
Didn't they get
Yeah,
relegated the previous year?
no, they've been in like the third division. They got relegated through.
Oh, they are us.
Kind of, yeah. So Deportivo La Coruña, they did the same sort of thing. They fell through the leagues. I think they might have even fell into the fourth tier, but they fell through the leagues. Obviously, they'd won it like what 2000 ish, and then Malaga did the same sort of thing. But that kind of happens because Atletico Madrid did this. I'm sure they got relegated to the second division in the early 2000s.
Yes.
But yeah,
Anyway, I
any
concluded that all of the teams in that playoff were bad teams. They were pretty
yeah,
poor.
I don't know what level it is like because obviously I think the championship probably is the equivalent I would say of like maybe the Belgian league maybe.
I think does the championship fit into the top seven leagues or not?
I think it does for like attendances and stuff. I don't know if it does in
No, no.
terms
I
of
mean, like
quality.
the way they rank divisions. I can answer this question.
I
They don't
think
know,
though
don't know why they're the
the
same.
the difference is it's like the Scottish league. So I think if Celtic were in the championship, they'd probably win it. But if you put Livingston, who finished bottom of the Scottish Premier League or Premiership, in the championship, they would definitely finish bottom of that league with like one win. So like I think the championship
Who would
is
who
very
would they beat?
Sheffield Wednesday last season.
Oh, okay,
Maybe.
they might not beat them, but they still might finish second bottom. Did Sheffield Wednesday
Yeah.
finish on any points at all, or not?
Zero. I think they got a zero
0 points. Well done, them.
because they
Do you want to tell
drew
people
on the
what we're
final
doing? Do
day.
you want to tell people what we're doing today?
So we are basically freestyling it. We were
Yeah.
sort of figuring out an idea as to what to do. So we've got one idea for a video that we're going to do, which is about basically every player we've been linked with for the last month and deciding whether or not there's any truth to it. And then I'd sort of just said to you, we could have done World Cup stuff, but I think we're going to wait until the end of the groups. I was like, well, why don't we just talk for half an hour and just see where the conversation goes?
It's freestyle.
Just
Yeah.
freestyling it. I'll tell you one thing we can talk about actually,
Uh-huh.
because I have upset a lot of people today.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Why don't you share it?
I will. I'm going to share it now. So today, and this is I don't have notifications on my phone for Twitter. So basically, what generally happens is I put a tweet up and forget about it. And then maybe 2 hours later, when I go to check Twitter again, I'm like, oh, wow, I have a lot of notifications. What has happened? This happened. I went viral the other month. Well, kind of semi-viral the other month with something. And it was the same. I can't even remember what it was now. But it got like 3,000 likes. And I was like, oh, I just logged in. I was like, oh, this is a lot of stuff. So, anyway, today I put up. I'll just zoom in so we can all see it. Everyone who watches this channel knows that I'm not a big fan of giving Harry Wilson a long-term contract, and we have discussed the reasons for this.
You've got a bee in your bonnet about him. You think he's found form in time for a big payoff, and they're going to be saddled with him. You had a real bee in your bonnet about him.
Also, he's not a free transfer in the sense that, you know, they're just getting him for nothing. He's going to get a big signing on fee. His agent is. That is why he's moving. He's ran down his contract. It's the clever thing to do. He's ran down his contract. He's had a brilliant season in a contract year, an anomalous season in a contract year. So anyway, I put this post up. I think this might be the kind of contract that a club regrets long term. Now, admittedly, I think it's actually just a 4-year deal. Long term, I thought suggested that was maybe a 5-year deal, but I think it's a 4-year deal. Anyway, I put this up, and we can see it's got 85,000 views. But I've got a lot of comments, 79 comments in here. Everything ranging from calling us names to people having an actual debate.
Yeah.
So Nathan said, another weird Sunderland fan coming out with an unwanted opinion.
Don't listen to it then, Nathan.
Isn't your best player 4 years older, idiot?
Yeah, but it's probably, better than Harry Wilson will be. I wonder what Harry Wilson's wage is going to be. Any idea?
Apparently he's on 100.
Well, that's less than Xhaka, and he's only 29. So, you know, they're signing not an equivalent player, but it's not outrageous. When's he 30? March.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so, you know, he's 29, and he's not long been 29. So 4 years, he'll be 33. He'll be the same as Xhaka is now. We're hoping to get another 2 seasons out of him. So maybe it's not horrible. £100,000. I imagine Harry Wilson expected more.
But he probably got a very sizable signing on fee.
He will have done. Yeah.
I would be very interested to see what sort of signing on fee he got, because if Fulham were going to command a transfer fee for Harry Wilson, so let's say he had another year left in his contract and they were cashing in. Last summer it was 10 million that we're going to sell him for, which reflects where he was a year ago before he had this ridiculous season. So does Harry Wilson get 10, 15 million signing on fee? Is that outrageous to suggest?
I've no idea. I mean, I don't really know how big a signing on fee. 10, I think, is huge for a free player. I mean, why would anyone give him 10?
Because he's free. Like that's the whole point. They're not really free transfers, are they? I think people are under the illusion.
I get it, but do you remember the size? There was a graph. I think it was from Opta. I can't remember. About the makeup of squads and the age of them. And do you remember that Leeds had an old-looking squad?
They've got a lot of players in that peak 25 to 30 age bracket. They don't really have anyone older or anyone younger. I think you can actually see it on Transfer Market.
Yeah. They're actually 15th for average age for the squad. Maybe it is on Transfer Market. Well, you can see average age. You can't see that lovely graph with the age brackets. But we looked at it a while ago, and they had very few young players and had very few old players. And you remember we were thinking about that and thinking, well, the problem with that, which we've debated ourselves about signing somebody for Xhaka or signing somebody from Reynildo. And if we get onto transfer talks or anything like that, then we've iterated that a number of times. There's no point signing somebody. Well, I've been more of a stickler for this than you. No point signing somebody who's similar age to Xhaka, because then you have to replace both of them at the same time, and it chews up your entire transfer budget for one summer, and you can't really move forward. And we've talked about Villa going to have trouble to sustain where they are because they pay people too much. They haven't got the money. They always have to sell to buy because of their inflated wages. But when their squad ages, what will they do? They will implode because they'll have to replace lots of people. And so the only query I have, I think Wilson's a decent signing for somebody for 100 grand a week, 29, 4 years. I don't think that's bad. He's a good player, or at least he had a good season. And I don't think they'll be saddled with him. He's clearly Premier League quality. The problem is, I think he just adds to that massive pile of I've got to replace you all at the same time, and he has no resale value. So that I think is the issue. Not paying for him. Yours is more. I think he's not going to be worth it, and he's going to prove a dud. But I think he's a dud in a different way.
No, I think mine's double. Mine's twofold. I think one. I think that Harry Wilson's 29, right? So he came through quite young. So he's been playing pretty much top level, Championship Premier League football for 10 years. And in the Premier League, as a general rule, he has been a fringe player who generally is an impact player. I actually really like him as a player, and he was a player that I thought Sunderland probably could have went for last summer. That's a different argument for a different day. My issue is that he's had an unbelievable season in a contract year. So to pay him as such, let's guess that he probably is going to be Leeds' highest earning player, or certainly probably level with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And to be fair to Leeds, they got that Calvert-Lewin one right, didn't they? So, well,
even if Calvert-Lewin... But nobody expects he's going to play every game all of next season or even the season after. Even Leeds fans don't think that, surely.
But even though...
We're all amazed that he held fitness for all season. And it turned out well for them.
But I was just about to say, though, even if Dominic Calvert-Lewin plays 20 games next season, the fact that he kept them up in the first season probably would suggest that he is basically worthwhile. So maybe the argument would be for Harry Wilson is if he scores 10 goals next season, that it has been worth it. My issue is, though, is he's getting paid the level of what he played last season and not the level that he showed his whole career. And are we expecting somebody at the age of 29 to have suddenly had a breakout and become one of the best right wingers in the Premier League? Or is it maybe a mix of, everything going right for him, trying harder because he's in the last year of his contract and he knows he's playing for a deal, the motivation being there? I just wonder about those things, and that's why I was always cautious about it from a Sunderland side. That's why I didn't really want us to go for Harry Wilson, was because I had concerns that is he a one-season wonder, essentially?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you take a look at his season-by-season stats on something like FotMob or SofaScore or something like that, he's a just under 7 player for most of the time. And I don't think it's fair to say he's been a fringe player. Let me try and... don't even know if I can share this. I'm so tired watching all these late night games. I'll be honest with you, I have flagged this second week.
You overdid it week 1, though.
I did. I set up for everything. I'm still trying to. How can I can't show my screen. Can you see it there?
You want me to share your screen? I can share your screen.
Unlike Brian Brobby, I do not have the power. So if I zoom in on the right hand side here, can I? I can't slide it, can I?
Maybe if you scroll down, it's probably just loaded into another section.
Maybe. No, it isn't. It isn't.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, there we go. So that's his seasons. He's actually played a fair few games every season. He's been pretty consistent.
Yeah. How many of those games, though, is he actually starting?
Well, his next best season after the one he just had was 5 years ago at Fulham, where he played the same number of games, had the same number of goals, but he had double the assists, and he was altogether a better player. Yeah. But in the 3 seasons in between, he scored pretty much the same goals he did this season. So if he were to return to the mean, then he would do half as well as he just did.
I mean, he was also
he'd be playing in a team that will struggle a bit more, I think.
It's probably
than Fulham have. Yeah. Well, it might be now, but you're looking at 24, 25, 23, 24. You're looking at those 3 seasons where he's only got 6 goals, 5 goals, 3 goals. That was a Premier League team where the promoted teams were much weaker, and therefore, he would have had a bit of an easier time of it.
Yeah,
you might think.
Shall we? So I think what would be a really worthwhile conversation is we kind of talked about this, kind of touched on it before. You were talking about Aston Villa and how they're struggling in the transfer market, which I think raises a very interesting question about what sort of club Sunderland will be, presuming that everything continues going along tickety-boo and we qualify for Europe every season and we push into being a top sort of 8 team. So on the presumption that Sunderland continue on this trajectory that they're on, do you see us becoming a team like Aston Villa or Newcastle who basically lock themselves into SCR or PSR hell and they're just stuck? Or do you think that we're going to find a way of doing it the Brighton way, but actually pushing through the ceiling? Because Brighton have done this, but they've stuck. Do you know what I mean? It feels like they can't get above this sort of bottom end of the top half. They're sort of stuck in this 8th to 11th position. It feels like every season that's where they finish, and they can't get through that. Whereas Villa and Newcastle have got through it, but they've also had massive issues when it comes to recruitment and selling players. So I suppose the question I'm asking is do you think Sunderland will become a hybrid of those two sort of models, or do you think Sunderland are going to probably be more like Brighton? I think it's more like Brighton, feels more realistic, but I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think there is an in-between. I think we're a bigger draw, we have bigger resources and bigger possibilities than Brighton and Brentford and Bournemouth. So I think we can be a bigger club than they can. I think we can raise larger revenues than they can in the future, if not now. And I think the problem with Aston Villa and especially Newcastle, but not so much Aston Villa. Aston Villa just paid a lot of money for a lot of people, and are a bit saddled in that sense. But Newcastle have wasted glorious amounts of money. That's their problem. And I don't see any reason why we can't turn over one or two big sales every 18 months and continue to invest wisely. And you look at the shape of the squad now, I think it's the right thing to do. I think they have a plan in that they've assembled a good enough squad to compete in the Premier League. You just have to try and add to it. And it will be a sort of combination of sort of 2/3 youth, 1/3 experience. And I think you can do that because you have to have the majority of youth to have some resale value. You have to be, and you will be able to get players a year earlier than the likes of Chelsea or Man United would take a gamble on them, maybe 2 years earlier, and you will turn over a profit on those sorts of players. And those players are not looking for Harry Wilson type deals or looking to go to London. They're looking to play in the Premier League and make a name for themselves. So I think it's perfectly possible to be that club. And it seems like we're pretty well organised at the minute. What amazes me about Brighton is the way they turn over massive profits on their player sales, but they don't choose to invest in the odd bit of supreme skill or experience to try and take them to that next position or to add some stability there. They're always looking for young players to turn a profit, and that's where I think that's where I think Sunderland might be different, and that's where I think if you wish to break through that sort of top 8 category and be a consistent challenger for Europe, which the club has stated, then I think that's what you have to do. You can't always be like Bournemouth and like Brentford and like Brighton, where you rinse the top clubs for money because you've taken a gamble on the kids who prove themselves and you sell them. That's the whole deal about getting them here in the first place. But those clubs never really invest in people like Xhaka or people like Mukiele so much. And I think there is an opportunity to do that and perhaps see if that can get you across the line a little bit. Because you have to get across that line a bit like Villa, and I feel I don't know if it's the right word. I feel a bit sorry for Villa because I feel like they've got a good manager. They've done really well with the Europa League. They're going to be in the Champions League, but I feel like if they could sustain being consistently in and around those places for another 2 or 3 years, then I think it transforms the club and the possibilities. And they perhaps, if they're better organised, they get out of their SCR problems with the extra income. But the squad it's going to be so touch and go for them because the squad is of an age where they're all going to need replacing at the same time and they will lose their foothold there. So I think the difference is that Newcastle are an exceptional case. They waste a lot of their money. They do have young talent, but they've wasted a lot of their money on garbage that people won't give half the the value for. Who knows? They don't really seem to have a plan about how they're building a squad. They never have seemed to have had one. It seems very haphazard. And now I still don't know what they're doing.
I think they did have a plan when the new owners came in. I think the problem is that they were so successful so quick, and we know how demanding, and not just Newcastle fans, I think North East fans generally are quite demanding, but we know how, in particular, Newcastle fans, how demanding they are. I was talking to a Newcastle fan the other day, a friend, and they were saying to me that they kind of wished that they were able to do sort of the deals that Sunderland do. He's like, I wish that we looked at Robin Roofs and went, yeah, do you know what, we'll take the gamble. I wish we'd looked at Noah Siddiqui and took that gamble. But he's like, he doesn't think that their fan
they
base
wouldn't get it,
would accept.
They wouldn't get a game. Yeah.
But it's not that. It's the, I think, cycle sort of mentally within the fan base. I think that they view themselves as the team that sign players from Sunderland. So they let a Sunderland develop a player. Obviously they wouldn't sign one off us, but you know what I mean? They view themselves like what kind of Chelsea do, where they let other teams develop players and then you come in and buy them. And his view as a Newcastle fan, but also probably my view, is that unless you are a revenue club of like 500 million quid, I don't think it's realistic to actually buy players from other Premier League teams. I think it's actually a dumb move to, unless there's a good deal to be had. Leeds and Wilson, right? It's a free transfer. Fair enough. But if you're going to go out, if I was Sunderland, I don't think I'd look for any player at another Premier League team who's playing regular minutes, because the cost is astronomical compared to buying a similar profile elsewhere.
They didn't do that, and I don't think it's a big secret either. I think even before the season kicked off, we all said that they shouldn't do that, because the quality for cost you get abroad is considerably better, and those players come here, desperate to succeed and make a move from here to, an enormous global team name, whether that's in the Premier League or back outside the Premier League. So I definitely don't think you should be signing from English teams unless you have to with homegrown rules, which in our video a couple of weeks ago I just abandoned the rule of.
If there's a deal to be had, if you look at like when Forest bought Elliot Anderson, that's an incredible deal that they've managed to get there. So unless you can find, I wouldn't be against, Chelsea are like this. So like Liam Delap, I know people wouldn't want him at Sunderland, I'm not saying I would, but Liam Delap is a prime example of a player that did really well in the Premier League at Ipswich. He's went to Chelsea, he's had a stinker, Chelsea will cut their losses on him, some other Premier League team will probably buy him and he'll turn into a decent player again. Like, there are deals like that can happen. But I think if you're going to go out and, if Sunderland went out and thought, right, we're just going to try and buy Brentford's best player, Igor Thiago, say, you're going to have to pay like 60 million quid. It's the same thing we value our players. Brobby. What would it cost to get Brobby out of Sunderland?
Well, I don't know. We might find out. There's somebody you never know.
Well,
I think that Newcastle felt like in the last couple of years that they should be signing people for £70 million rather than £20 million. And that if they didn't cost £70 million, they probably weren't good enough, which is an absurd way to think about it. And I think a lot of teams think like that. 70 million equals good. And I think I'd much rather be signing £20 million players who turn out to be £70 million players. So, but I think Sunderland are in a strange position now, because we're not going to be able to sign enormous levels of young players and give them the opportunity. So we face a different problem now, I think. The club only want to have sort of 3, 4, maybe 5 at most signings. And how many of those are going to be very young and get an opportunity? I don't think we can offer that as much as we did last season. Did you see the reveal from Jan Diomande's agent, by the way, this week?
So, yeah, that's. Oh. Tell us again. I did see something about him.
He went to Leipzig like last year.
Yes.
And he's been like one of Europe's greatest players this season. And he's going to get like a £100 million move, perhaps to the Premier League or whatever. And he's done really well. He's a great player. And Sunderland looked at him and the deal was all tied up. And then they said, we don't really want to pay his 20 million release clause. I know. So, no, let's buy Talby instead.
Well,
I mean, there's
I think
nothing wrong with Talby, but I just think, yeah,
the
funny.
thing is,
And he
though,
was
is
on. He's always been a player for the future. He was on like Scouted's top 50 players at under 19 or under 17 or something a few years ago, and about usually in that top 50, maybe about 15 of them come through. But he was in the top 10, I think, or top 20, and he has come through. But I think you can't lament the spilt milk and the missed opportunity there. We've bagged some other great players, and I think it's a credit to Sunderland's recruitment that we nearly had him.
yeah,
But would he have? He wouldn't have been such a blazing player so straight off the bat in the Premier League, surely,
probably
because
not.
the
Which is
competition is tougher. Yeah,
the thing is, you don't know how different players thrive because didn't Brobby play for Leipzig and he struggled there?
yeah, yeah.
So
Did you see
you know,
Simon Adingra is coming back as well? Monaco are not taking up their option on him.
yeah, I still don't think he'll stick around. I think they'll still cash in, and I presume he's probably held reasonable value, provided nobody sees that awful miss he had at the World Cup the other day. But I would guess that his value will be roughly what we paid, maybe a bit
Yeah, I
of a
think
loss.
so. Maybe 18 million or something. I don't think there'll be any trouble moving him on.
But we got a loan fee as well, didn't we? So if we paid
Yeah.
early 20s, maybe we got a 2-3 million quid loan fee.
Who knows?
Probably just about. And you've had 1 year of amortization, so in theory.
Yeah, there won't be any profit, but it'll mean an extra player. It's the equivalent of substituting him for an extra player. Maybe it'll be one of those moments where we swap Altidore for Defoe. Who knows?
Maybe.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, what would the equivalent of swapping a Dingra be?
I've got no idea. I mean, that Altidore Jermaine Defoe one was... That, do you know what's so weird is that it's like, do you know, pay-as-you-play deals and swap
Yeah.
deals are the same, where people talk about them all the time as though they're common in football. And the reality is very rarely does a swap deal or a pay-as-you-play contract ever get handed out. But people talk about, oh, I'd take him, but only on a pay-as-you-play. And it's like, those don't exist. But like that was one of the very few swap deals that's ever happened. The Sunderland, Jermaine Defoe, Josie Altidore one.
Yeah.
And I think both teams benefited from it as well, didn't they?
Yeah. It's bizarre. Yeah. Well, I don't even know why Defoe was at that stage of his career playing in the MLS or Canadian League or whatever. Playing for
Who's in
Montreal,
the
wasn't he?
MLS? No, Toronto.
Toronto.
Play for
Same
TFC.
thing.
I mean, one of them's French speaking, one of them's not.
Nah. They're losing to our captain tonight as we talk, aren't they?
Lost
Canada. They lost 2-0, was it?
2-1. Promise David scored, and a player that we haven't been linked with, but a lot of our fans seem to like him.
Jonathan David. Is it
No, Promise. There's a Promise and a Jonathan, and they're not related.
Okay. I was thinking, what would be the best two first name? Like
Neville,
Philip Paul or something. No, because that's a real person.
I know. Yeah.
But Neville's not a first name. Well, it is, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Neville Longbottom.
Okay.
Harry
what about
Potter.
things like Gary Paul?
Gary Paul. What about Steven Stevenson? Although Stevenson's not a first name.
No.
I'm just thinking of duplicate names, really, aren't I?
Yeah.
I don't even think I know what your name is.
The best named footballer.
The best named footballer. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the classic Spaniard sort of Jesus, the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus saves. And it's got to be Jan Paul of Hesselink, or whatever his name was.
Jan Venegor Hesselink.
Jan Venegor of Hesselink.
Hull City legend. Not really.
Is he?
No.
Is he?
Did score, though. That he scored like 2 unbelievable goals that year. Do you know that year they had in the Premier League under Phil Brown, where they won every game for the start of the season, then lost every game in the second half? He scored a few world, at Man City
was the end
on
of
Boxing Day.
That was the end of.
Well, he lasted another year.
I know it was the end of their team. I think.
Yeah, I think so. You don't really get teams. You know, like I felt like that was a very sort of 2000s thing that a newly promoted team would come up and like maybe have a hot start. I think Wigan did it one year, didn't they? Where Wigan got like
Yeah.
they had Pascal Chimbonda and stuff, and like the flu for the first part of the season. Everyone's like, "Are they going to be title contenders?" And then they obviously fall away.
I have news, by the way, because I was just thinking that at the start of the season we were sort of up near there, and then I remembered that in the days before the full moon, I was occasionally on Sky asking about how excited we were. Yeah. And I remembered they asked me when we were up there, "Are we going to be in Europe?" And I said yes, and no one's come back to me since we are.
Yeah,
but it turns out I'm not entirely banned. They mucked up their booking system for the Man United game, and I don't know whether it was out of desperation or not. But they phoned me and said, "Would I like to come on after the Manchester United game?" Unfortunately, as you are aware, I don't listen to any of my voicemails, so I didn't pick that message up until this week. So I may be back out again. Who knows?
Yeah. Or they
they
thought this man who got mooned on national TV has then ignored us, ghosted us after we've offered him a lifeline.
Yeah, but it's a good sign. I might be back. I might be back, and I will be ensuring there is a wall behind me on every future occasion. Imagine my excitement and then disappointment to realise this message was 3 weeks old and I hadn't replied. Never mind.
Very you.
We shall see.
You are awful. Your mobile phone, I have texted you, I'd say 10 times, with reasonably important things, I would say, over the last 2 days. And you've, like, occasionally just sent, like, a one-word answer. I'm like, what is this guy's deal?
Man has job to hold down, you know? And single-figure aged children to collect and shuffle about.
Well, that's true. But then I see you replying in other group chats that we're in. Oh, actually, I tell you something we need to talk about is our Messi Maradona debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I came up with the idea because it was unresolvable, and the argument continued offline, and we involved Bowers and Copley, and then someone came up with the idea, which I then expressed and said the only way to solve it is to ask an Argentinian, ask an Argentine. Surely they would have the definitive answer as to what their nation feels like. So, what did you do?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm friends, but me and Julio Arca have an understanding, I would say. Although we have had a few texts since talking about the football. But yeah, I've interviewed Julio Arca a few times. Me and James interviewed him the other week, and I was very pleasantly surprised that he remembered who I was. So when we were looking for an Argentinian, there was only one answer for me, footballer. Ask Julio. So I dropped a message to Julio. He didn't reply.
No one knows if Nicolas Medina is still alive or not. So
I know. It had to be Julio.
Yeah.
So I text Julio. He didn't reply, and I thought, "Oh, this is a bit embarrassing."
Well,
really.
If you got the message, you can throw the message up. I think you took a screenshot. I don't know. Or was that
I did, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't tell him that he was going to be put on the screen. So
no, that's not then.
So anyway, I text Julio, and he sent a really long response talking about how Maradona's done so much for the game, but basically, essentially came to the conclusion that Lionel Messi is a god of football, and therefore the only answer is Lionel Messi. So Messi.
I think his final point was that Messi has been at the top of his game for 15 years, and he says, as a footballer, I can tell you, just being at the top of your own game for 15 years, never mind the world game, is incredibly difficult to do. So it has to be him, he said. And I conceded at that point. I mean, I was quite happy to ask an Argentine, and if an Argentine says Messi over Maradona, then I must accept that. So,
I mean, if you look at the, thank you. I think Messi. I don't think there'll ever be another player like him. I think that he's just such an unbelievable footballer. The way he glides along the pitch, I've never seen anyone move like him on a football pitch. His control of the ball is unbelievable. His finishing ability, he's got every single thing you'd want. And also, he gets assists.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure I wish to continue the conversation. I concede.
You concede. You lost.
Yes, I concede.
Is there anything else you want to talk about while we're talking about anything? Any topics?
I'd quite like to talk about the football shirt that's coming out tomorrow. or will
Oh
probably be
yeah,
out by the time of this show.
yeah, it probably
I
will
don't
be.
know.
No,
Yeah,
it's coming out on Friday. We're recording this on Wednesday.
I don't know what day of the week it is. It's all
It's
just
Wednesday.
one blazing inferno at the
It
moment.
is. I like your shirt, by the way.
This is my Hawaiian heavy metal Hawaiian. I call it Death Beach.
You look, you look very much like a nice sort of plate that your grandma would have.
Thanks. It's not a pair of curtains. It is. It is. It's my heavy metal Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
What
I
makes
didn't
it
know
a
what
heavy
else.
metal?
Well, it looks navy there, but in daylight it looks kind of black. And who the
Oh,
hell
okay.
wears a black Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, there you are.
So yeah, it's my Death Beach. I call it. Yeah.
Anyway,
Go on.
new
Pink
shirt.
shirts. Pink
Pink shirt.
shirts.
Yeah.
The long trailed and much anticipated Pink Slice third strip, isn't it? Yeah?
Is it a third?
I
Do we
believe
have
it's the
confirmation
third.
if it's third or second?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe,
I mean, I
maybe
imagine.
it's a European fourth kit.
Oh God, will we do that?
I
Because
have no idea.
I know I'm buying them all.
Are you getting the Europa League badge on?
No, I'm not fussed about that.
No.
I also think there's an age which you have names on the back of your shirts, and then there's an age where it's just not cool and it's a bit childish. I've now come out the other side of that, where I'm so old I couldn't give a shiny, and I'm getting names on the
Yeah.
shirts, and I just don't care anymore. So I'm at the other side, and we'll have to think of a name to put on.
What did you make of Roy Keane talking about wags getting names on the backs of shirts? Did you see that?
No, what did he say?
He was talking about the World Cup. Oh, he was talking about Room 101. And he was like, "Come
Yeah.
and bring it back. I want to do a Room 101. Like, well, what is it?" And he was like, "Oh, well, we've been obviously at the World Cup and I'm seeing all these wives and girlfriends of players and they've got the names on the back of the shirts. It's ridiculous. It's this, it's that. They'll be broken up within a year." It's like, Now, I think that for me, I don't have an issue with it. I don't think it's a problem.
Okay,
I don't
I'd
know.
say so.
Well, what would you think if you had if say Granit Xhaka's missus was wearing a Xhaka top at a match? Would you look at it and think that's weird, or would you not just be like, oh,
No, I don't think it's weird. I mean, you'd expect the kids to be wearing their dad's shirt. Why
Oh,
not the
well,
wife as well?
but Keane did say that kids is fine. But the other thing is, right, is let's just say, Granit Xhaka's wife is probably called something Xhaka. Maybe she's got her own name on the back.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm slightly beyond caring now, but
Fair enough.
yeah. Why don't you show my screen here? Because
I don't know if I want you now after you were so mean.
well, it's nothing. It's not mine. About 5 hours ago, the club shared this reveal video, which is obviously filmed at the Empire, and they obviously filmed this quite a while ago, because you remember there was a photograph online with a pink Cadillac outside the back of the Empire.
Oh yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember
so
that.
this is they obviously filmed this around about that time. There's obviously some other stuff that's going to be coming as well. I want you to look carefully here and tell me what you see.
I see a man with a guitar. Is it the Lake Poets man?
Don't know. There you go. That's
what
it.
What was I going to see?
What were you meant to see? Have a look at what he's wearing, because he's wearing the shirt, so you only get a little bit of a view of it.
Oh,
Can
is
you
he?
see it? He's wearing the shirt.
It's got like a black. Is that black?
Indeed. So there's been a bit of investigative work about what he's wearing, and I've got some stuff about this, about what he's wearing.
Got
So
some
let me try and
stuff.
some stuff about what this man might be wearing. So let's have a look and see what we've got. If I can, here we are. Here is an exclusive photograph of Brian Brobby in the new pink shirt. Yeah, which we got off ready to go. Look at that! Isn't that dynamite? I would love to.
I think it would be a shame if Brian Brobby isn't like wearing an Elvis outfit at some point. to promote it.
I don't know. This is off ready to go. I don't know who made it. Their logo's in the bottom left-hand side, but top notch stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously AI, but it's. I would wear that. I
No!
would wear that.
I'm sure he was wearing that in our
Yeah.
win against Crystal Palace.
What an opportunity for the club to sell Elvis jumpsuits. Do you think they will?
So true.
Fingers crossed.
Why not, like, they could get, like, Elvis style, but Sunderland. Like, Sunderland style, but like this. Yeah, I say do it.
Elvis jumpsuits with rhinestones. Yes, please.
Maybe next season we should have a bet, and the loser has to wear one of these.
Well, I hope I lose. I really do.
Have you got your Indiana Jones outfit yet?
No, I haven't yet.
No.
I do have something I want to talk to you about all of that, but no, I haven't bought it yet. I've got to find out when we're going, and then I've got to decide how much spare money I have to try and spend on it all. So somebody, I don't think this is the real thing, but someone did a mock-up, if you go to the next image, of what the shirt might look at from the video. So they think it's going to look a bit like this. And the reason is because there was a very famous suit that Elvis himself wore, which fits the design. And you said it looked like it had a black top mask.
It did.
Yeah, this looks pretty good because this is the, if it works, will it load up that image or not? I don't know if it will. Doesn't look like it wants to.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
Is it a JPEG or is it like a web file or AVIF?
It's a web file, but I can get it for us.
That really irritates me that nothing can. So all these images you can get off Google, a lot of them are AVIF or web files, and I'm like, what? Why? And nothing can process them.
No.
Why?
I'm going to share my screen again, and nope, I can't do that. And you'll see the suit in question, which kind of fits. Have I got the right one? There you go. So this is the suit in question, and when you see that suit, and I'm sure that all of this will come out to the fore. But then you go back to the shirt. And if you like, we can play the video again. We're pretty nailed on that this is what we're going to look like. When you go back to the shirt again. And then I'll show you the Sunderland reveal video. So I don't think this is the real thing. I think this is a mock-up. But I think this is, it is that pink suit. And then if we go back to that video, which if you go back to, you can see now. And then have a look again at what the guy is wearing. And I won't stop it, but I can do when we play it again. And you'll say, yeah, this is it. See?
Yeah.
And then when the lights come on, you can see he's just wearing that pink shirt.
See, I really liked the fake one that was going around with, which was like the heart with the little pinstripes. I thought that one looked really nice. I'm not as keen on that pink shirt there. Looks to me more like a training shirt. Might be just because of the lack of sponsor.
Maybe. I mean, I'm buying it. It no matter what. I mean, do we think it'll be available to buy on Friday, or is it just going to be another reveal? I don't think it's going to be available to buy. It'd
be a shame if it wasn't. I feel like, why wouldn't you? Because you want to have. I mean, I personally think you should have a shirt out to buy for Father's Day. I just think you're walking away from thousands of pounds by not putting them on sale for that. So, to be honest, I think you should have certainly your home top, or at least one of the tops, ready by mid-June, early June.
Yeah, but I mean they couldn't because they were holding off signing sponsorship deals for the front of shirt to see if they got into the Europa League or not.
Yeah,
and this is the confusion. I have no idea how reliable the information is, but I sent a message the other day saying apparently the club are very close to signing a big deal for that front of shirt, but then you said, well, I hope they do it before Friday when they release the shirt.
Yeah.
You made me think, well, surely the person who told me that can't be true because you would imagine that they had a shirt, unless what's happening on Friday is just a reveal or just a mock-up and they say this will be available to buy, pre-order, whatever.
If you think about the video though, Now, when they made that video, probably in like April or something.
They definitely didn't have a sponsor. And if you play the video again,
Yeah.
there isn't anything on the front. There's nothing
So
on the
that
front.
would suggest that probably all the launch material will be without sponsor, unless
Which
of
is what we'll
course
see. That's what we'll see tomorrow.
Friday.
There will be a mock-up. If they've signed the deal, there'll be a mock-up. You just won't be able to buy it. It'll be pre-order.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I think it will be.
It'll
And
be,
by the time this video comes out, we'll be flatly proven entirely wrong.
You will. You've taken the lead on the strip stuff.
It's been a
I'm
very
not taking
nice,
any blame.
very nice sort of investigative journey there.
What?
But I'd be quite happy with that.
Have you ever? What's your view on Elvis? A fan? Not a fan?
Yeah, definitely a fan for sure. The man loved cheeseburgers to death. So what's not to like about that?
Fair enough.
Yeah, very much so. Are you going to tell me you don't like Elvis now? This would be a travesty heaped upon top of Indiana Jones.
I went to Memphis about 13 years ago. I did all the Elvis stuff. Went to Graceland, went in his plane, went to see all of his cars.
Yeah.
Did
he have a pink Cadillac?
There was one in the
Yeah.
in the garage that he's got. I did all the rockin' museums and all them. So I mean, they just went over my head really.
Yeah. Okay.
But
the
you know,
Rock
you're in
and Roll
Memphis.
Hall of Fame or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, all them. But when you're in Memphis, that's what you got to do. I went to see the Ducks. Have you heard about the Ducks? I can't remember what they're called now.
No, but I don't know what the Ducks are.
There's like ducks in a hotel, and they come down an elevator, and they walk around an elevator. Oh, there we go. A lift. They come down a lift, and they walk around the hotel lobby, and they go back up. That's like a big thing in Memphis. I can't remember what they're called now. They've got a name.
Why?
I don't know. They're just always
These ducks they've just taken to living there.
Yeah. Well, my uncle, who is
not mechanical ducks. It's the real ducks.
No, real ducks. They come down. But my uncle, who went to Memphis about 30 years before me, I was talking about Memphis, and he'd said that he'd had the same thing. He went to the same hotel. They've been doing it for years. Hang on, I'm going to Google them. The Memphis Ducks.
The Memphis Ducks. That sounds like a corruption of the
The Peabody Ducks are a famous group of 5 North American mallard ducks that reside at the historic Peabody, Memphis in Tennessee. Twice a day they perform an iconic march across a red carpet between their rooftop penthouse and the lobby fountain, a tradition that began as a playful prank in 1930. So if you're ever in Memphis, check it out. I think it's the murder capital of the US.
I don't want to stay at a hotel where my moving in and out of the hotel will be disrupted by a duck parade.
No, you don't have to stay at the hotel. You just visit.
I don't want to, but I don't think this is my point. I don't think it's a selling point for the Peabody Hotel. I think it's an off-put.
Oh well, fair enough. Well, we'll never go to the park together and go see the ducks.
It's just too hot. It's just too hot.
You're getting so frustrated.
I'm not going to be happy about anything except a pink shirt. A hot pink shirt.
A hot pink. Yeah, hot pink.
Well, it's not going to be hot pink though, is it? It's not going to be neon. Not like the Bin Men's third strip a couple of years ago. The high vis.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
Well,
I don't know why teams do that.
I don't know. I quite liked it, but it did just make us look like bin men.
I just think. Do you know what I hate? I hate when Celtic and Hibs have done this as well. Obviously, they are 2 green teams, and they often wear. Oh, something's dropped. They often wear the highlighter green, so they'll have like a green top, and then they'll have a green away top. And I'm like, well, the only time you need to wear an away kit is when you're playing against Hibs or you're playing against Celtic, and you've got a green top, which means you'll never wear it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah.
On,
where are we with the Europa League, by the way? Oh, that's people speeding on the road outside.
Oh, it sounded like you were like under attack.
What, from Stuka bombers?
Something like that. Well, with the Europa League, well, the draw's been made, but I don't think it plays until
they've made this. Yeah, they've made the second round as well of the draw.
Yes. So who's in it? Carrier bag are in it.
Carrier bag, very good. By the way, on your mobile phone, have you downloaded the Europa League app?
No.
You can download the Europa League app, select your team as Sunderland, and you'll get all of the information. You'll get the televised draws linked to your phone and everything. It'll be
all the stuff
exciting.
that we need. Well, it starts on the 9th of July, so I imagine that you'll be watching that, won't you? Feels like the sort of thing you'd do.
The 9th of July. Yes, I am on holiday, unless I'm drinking, which is highly unlikely. then I will be watching the Europa League draw.
No, not the draw. Not the draw. These are the actual matches.
The actual game. Oh God, yes, I'm going to be watching as many of those games as
Yeah.
possible, so that when we get our league phase draw, I can speak with commanding authority of watching 2 games for these teams about how they're going to play and how we can beat them. That's
Fair
the
enough.
plan.
That's the plan. Right, should we wrap this up because we've got another podcast to do? And we've spent 50 minutes talking about everything. Directionless. I think it worked, though.
It's been good not having a plan. We should probably include chapter headings when we remember what we talked about.
Yeah, that's true. Do we need them? How would we describe them? Rant about Harry Wilson. Okay. What else did we talk about? Peabody Ducks. Elvis.
Pink shirt, yeah. Did we do some World Cup or not?
Yeah, we talked very briefly about Xhaka, I think, in Switzerland, beating Canada.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up anyway. So we're going to do another video. I don't know when these are coming out. They'll be coming out in the next... I mean, you'll know when they come out because you'll be watching this right now, so it doesn't really matter when I say. But yeah, we've got a few things coming out. I'm doing a Disco Pants with James at some point. That'll be out. I'm also recording with a guy from Roker Report on Friday, so that'll be out over the weekend. So look forward to that. And I think
who's that and what's it about?
It's Johnny Hawley, who I recorded with before the Premier League season started last season. So it's more like let's think about how giddy we were about the fact that we thought Sunderland might stay up to what actually happened, which was just this mad season where we ended up finishing in Europe. So basically, just positive vibes about Sunderland is basically the idea.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Right. Well, on to the next video.
Yes, we'll see you soon.